What's up, YouTube? Back for part 2 of night fishing. This video was going to be a little bit different than I decided to make it, so let's get it at this. This is going to be the last part of the last video I was going to do, so I'm going to make it second. Alright, let's go ahead and just discuss what this video is going to be about, and I'm going to inform you all on that already do not know this. This is going to be the part of the video where I talk about Texas rigging for night bass. If you're not a soft plastics person, I don't recommend that you try Texas rigging at night unless you have had good luck at it. And I'm not saying you can't, that you shouldn't go try it. I mean, you should try everything and get a good feel for it. But Texas rigging at night is a lot different than it is during the day. I mean, you got a little bit different conditions at night. You cannot see your line, which is a valuable key in Texas rigging. Sometimes you feel the little knock you'll get, and then sometimes that you won't feel nothing. You'll just kind of start moving and you'll feel your line go tight. Other times you got to watch that line for that line to pop. So let's get right on into here and dig through my very organized box of soft plastics. Very organized. Alright, I'm going to be digging out those. Let's see here. Definitely those. Definitely, I ain't going to dig those out. Okay, and magically I'm missing a pack. So, yeah, that's just great. Well, we can work around it. Anyways, first thing I'm going to discuss is the key thing to night fishing Texas rig. This is what, during the summer months, everybody is going to be working on a Texas rig during the night. Whether it's a night tournament or you're just out enjoying night fishing. It's going to be them old big old worms, you know, them big 6 or big 7, 8, 9-inch worms, even bigger. This color here is in Redbug Black, and this is a really good worm. I love this worm. It's got some silver fleck in it. This is a 9-inch Yum Old Monster. This is the one that they actually stopped making, I think. I've not been able to find this one. Like, I bought several packs of the Old Monster. When they sold the 9-inch... Okay, never mind. This is a 10-inch, so... I'm not 100% if they still sell the Old Monster 10-inch, because I ain't bought none in a very long time. I know they still carry the Old Monsters. I just think they carry the bigger Old Monsters, the bigger ones, than what they used to sell. So, anyways, a lot of people don't like fishing these giant worms like this, and one thing's a proven fact: giant worms catch giant bass. Now and giant worms catch giant bass at night more or less of the time, because that's when all of the bass get active during the summer months, during the night, during the water cool down session. A lot of people say, well, what size hook are you supposed to use on one of these? Well, when it comes down to my opinion, I always use a 5/0. Got two different kinds here. I got a Trocar and a Mustad, extra wide gap and a straight shank. There's the extra wide gap 5/0, and a lot of people say this hook is actually a 5/0 is actually too small, but no, I've caught a many of bass rigging this. I'll just go ahead and rig it. Give y'all a good example. There you go. There's a rigged, big, huge worm. Rigged on a 5/0 hook. You could actually go maybe one size bigger of a hook, a 6/0, if you can find them, which are pretty hard to find. You can find them at Bass Pro, I'm pretty sure. But A 5/0 does its job. I mean, I've hooked and caught a lot of fish off this, and I mean, a lot of littler fish will just grab the back end of it, and if you notice, you'll miss a few worms on a big few bass on a size worm like this, because the little bass don't really devote and eat the thing, but the big females, they come after us. They just eat the whole thing. That's one way of rigging it, is just on your standard extra wide gap hook like this. This here's a Laser Trocar, which is my main hook brand. There, 5/0. Or you can rig it on this Hoss right here. This is a Mustad. As you can see, it's got the keeper at the end. It's the big worm hook. You just take it and do your basic Texas rig. Nothing special at all. Basic, hook it straight through the head of the worm or whatever, the top. Run it all the way down through, and it's got the keeper. Slide it up over the keeper. Pull it through to the keeper. Make sure it's on there good. Now there's some debates on a straight shank hook like this. You can take it. The number one way I do this, and I get questioned on this a lot, is I will do it just like this right here. You see how I done that? The worm is completely straight, but I left the bow, like that point right there, sticking out. I do not recommend you fish this in weeds at night. I mean, don't fish it in weeds at day with this rig, because you're probably going to lose it pretty quick with this exposed tip hook. I recommend fishing this hook in like rocky points, flats, bluffs, anything like that. You can even work this weightless and kind of work it suspended, something like that. Do not work it in weeds or heavy brush. You will lose this really, really quick. Now the other one, the extra wide gap hook, go ahead, throw that thing in whatever you can get it into. Experiment around. I mean, don't be afraid to lose it, because I mean, I don't like losing the crap, but don't be afraid to. Work the extra wide gap in like anything, trees, but 9 times out of 10, when I'm not fishing for bass with a Texas rig, I'm going to be working open spots. I ain't going to be pretty much working cover that I would be flipping and pitching during the day in. Color-wise, not fishing, it varies on your conditions. It really does. I prefer to go with a lot of your darker colors, which that's not fishing at its own. Say black and blue, solid blue. You can do blue, you can do purple, some reds. I don't really recommend reds, but you can. I've actually caught some bass on a swim bait that was red at night. You can go with any of those colors, browns, dark greens, you know, all your dark colors. That color there, like I said, it's a red side instead of blue side. Now this worm I'm coming into is just a 7-inch worm. This is a tournament series with Bass Pro, which I'm a very big fan of in my soft plastics. This is just an old 7-inch, nothing special about it at all. These really don't classify as a big worm, but they kinda are. It varies, but they kinda are if you really put them in the spectrum here. Out there. This is in purple with blue fleck. I'd rig it the same way. I might go with a little bit smaller hook. I might go with a 4/0 on this worm. I might go with the 4/0. I won't go. You can fish it with a 5/0. It gives it a little bit extra weight if you're fishing it weightless. But weights. What size weight do I generally mess with when it comes to this? I'll usually go with one of these. Just your well, I can get it out. I usually fish a. You'll hear me talking when I talk about night fishing. I'll talk about 3/8 as being my primary thing. But I'll fish it on a 3/8 tungsten right there. Highly recommend tungsten at something else. These You can feel what structure is under the water without looking at the DSI unit, the Lowrance. You can feel what's under the water without having to really pay much attention. You can tell if you're in grass or rocks, and so on and so forth. Now, other ways to Texas rig, and you can Texas rig anything for knot bass. I'm not saying you have to go and Texas rig just a worm, because you don't. There's many things you can Texas rig for knot bass. For instance, right here's another one. You can Texas rig the Zoom lizards. I've caught bass doing it at night. Right there's the best color to throw is solid black, or you can go with June bug, like those. You can go with watermelon seed. You can go with any of those. Pumpkin seed. Pumpkin seed's a little bit too hot, but it'll work. I recommend that if you throw lizards at night, something I don't have on me right now is the big lizards, the big 7 or 8 inch lizards by Zoom. Those work dandy at night, I'll tell you that. I've actually worked them with this old guy I do some tournaments with. I've actually worked one at night, and they work amazing. They're great. Now, when Texas rigging, the big question comes up. Texas rigging the big worms. Back to that. What would I fish them in? Well, there's multiple things that you can fish the Texas rig in at night to get good bite during, you know, May, June, July, and August. The summer months, the heat months, the hottest months you get. I really say I've had better luck working off something if I can find like in my last video said, rock walls. A rock wall that at some point comes into a point is where I have a lot of luck. You can get that worm, do just like I said to do with the jig. Put it up against that rock wall, let it go straight down free spool, then work it back. Same thing. 9 times out of 10 you're going to be getting your bite on the Texas rig on the fall. It's the reaction bite with that tail spinning and it's moving fast. That's where you're going to get your reaction bite. 9 times out of 10 that is where your bite's coming from, on the fall. And fish it on them rock walls, maybe solid-sided boat docks. You can do that. Rocky points, rocky shallow points you can fish, because they hold a lot of heat, and when it starts going down, the bass is going to move into it or not. You can fish structure under the water. That's a key thing for bass during the night. Maybe standing trees or bushes, some category like that. Or you can possibly go to the bluffs, the sandy bluffs, the flat bluffs, anything like that. I mean, I could sit here all day and name off stuff that you could work with the Texas rig at night, but it's pointless. You just gotta go experiment with what your lakes are. See, I can't sit here and tell you, oh, this guy here lives on Lake Guntersville, and he's asking me what the best thing to night fish is. I've never been on Guntersville. I personally will one day. But I've never been on Guntersville, so I can't tell you what the bass are going to feed on there at night and what they're going to be on, but I can give you a general idea. That's what I'm doing. I'm giving general ideas. I mean, any lake in Tennessee, I've been on them. I can tell you any tips for them. I mean, I can help you out with Tennessee, North Carolina, and Virginia. Some of those. And some Kentucky. Any of the structure you want to start working, you can. At night, I generally like to fish deep. That's my own personal little opinion there. I like to fish deep. I do that a lot, fish deep structure with the big worms. And I guess you can notice that I'm not in the boat today. Well, there's a good reason for that. I was going to tell you this is the first video, but it's windy out. And there's no way you've never been able to hear me. It's raining now a little bit. I've seen enough rain the past couple of weeks. I'm about sick of it. So that'll conclude my Texas rigging video for night bass fishing. Expect 2 or 3 more videos here in the upcoming days. I really hope these videos help you out. For those of you that ain't much on night fishing, I'm a really big night fishing guy, especially because I got 3 tournaments coming up. It's not on my local Watauga Lake here. I hope this helps you out a little bit in some way. I mean, just anything. if whatever y'all want me to start making videos on, just leave me a comment and tell me, or personal inbox me, because I really want to know what to make some videos on. I mean, I got my general ideas on what I can keep making videos on, but I'd like to know what y'all want me to make some videos on. So anything that has to do with bass fishing, tip, review. If you want me to review something, I'll try to find it and I'll pick it up and review it and work it. And just personal inbox me or comments. Rate, comment these videos. I'd really appreciate that. Here to help you guys out. New to bass fishing, even experienced to bass fishing, just looking for some tips or something. So appreciate y'all watching, and don't want to drag this video on too long. So I appreciate y'all watching. Rate, comment, subscribe. This concludes part 2 for Not Bass Fishing. Keep bass fishing, and see you all later.